I could be your mother. I can be your sister. Can be your pastor or judge in the court. I could be your leader. Ruling over the nation. All about the world. There's strong voice. Do this. Intelligent and wise. Beautiful voice. There's one. Get the voice. There's one strong voice. Do this. The spirit of wisdom is calling, and the voice of unity must answer. Answer to this woman. To this woman. Hello, everyone. Hello. Good to be here. It's Sunday evening. All of you know that Doc travel. She's in Liberia. Um, Working hard at the same time, enjoying herself. I look forward to seeing her soon to be here. So we can have more conversation, her experience this time around, conversation with her. It'll be really, really nice. If you're out there, we are here also on Tuesday and Thursday. Thursday, I'm here with Coach Q, Rennie Dapo, and Lofa Jula, and a Liberian who has a voice and want to add their voice to the conversation. You're welcome. We're talking about how to move Liberia forward as we as we identify the issues that are pressing Liberia, the issue that is facing Liberia. Okay, we also proffer a recommendation as to what needs to happen. All right. So I'm here tonight to, as always, we've been here here. So let me say that this year I'm not really up to anything about canned meat and all of that, but this is me. Okay. That's another way of distraction, if you ask me. Um, this is what they used to do in different kingdoms. The king to entertain themselves, to entertain the people, to take them away from thinking about their issue that is facing them and find a solution. It's a way of it's another means of medicating. You have all these fun, you go there, you beer, you sleep, you work on your problem still there. It does not solve the problem for me. So, but that's me. Okay. I will talk about that. But tonight we're going to talk about accountability. Okay. Accountability starts with the leader. Um, in our culture as Liberians, normally we make excuses for our leaders. Okay, so I'm going to stop here and then I'll come back to this topic. I want to say, if you're here with us, welcome to Second Thought. I am Yacindy Martin Peye. Um, I am an advocate for women and children. I've always been a voice. From the day I was 13 years old. And I've always advocated for those who are speaking, but they're not loud enough to be heard. Or they're speaking because they're silently speaking in so many ways. There's so many ways to communicate. You have to be listening. Even in a relationship, there are many ways people can. Some people use nonverbal, some people use verbal, so there are many ways to communicate. So it has always been my journey to champion causes for equity, not just equality, but equity, and give voice to those who need it most. At this point, I see when I post yesterday, The people who insulted me yesterday when I was in New York, those who threatened to kill me yesterday when I was in Washington, speaking, and those who were literally rooting for me yesterday, today, those who were rooting for me yesterday because I stood up yesterday, today, they hate me, don't even want to see me. Majority of them, because now they're in power. And if you ask me, the only reason that they were supporting was because they thought it's supposed to be there instead of other people. My particular ideology or philosophy is live and let's live. If you are trusted to be in charge in any organization for that matter, your purpose to be to make mankind, to create an environment that people will persevere, that people will progress, that people will become better version of themselves. Hi guys. So Shijia, yeah, my low snow, right? That's no going now, and I'm not liking that, man. I'm not liking that. So I want to say thank you for being here. Please share. I like, I like. We all want the 2,000 to watch and talk, but I'd rather the few good men. If I'm only getting few good men, for me that's what important. Accountability starts with the leader. Liberians, we need to step besides ourselves and start making excuses for our leader. The reason their leader is they're supposed to think without the box, outside the box. They're supposed to be people who projects the future or projects the dream that they hope to accomplish and that people believe in to follow. If they see that their direction or the desire is being derailed, they have the responsibility to make the necessary adjustment, to make decision, to set them apart. I will I'm gonna go to Eugenia really quickly. You know, I listened to Dualu. Dualu was somebody that's a little brother, really like. In fact, Dualu and I used to be on the phone all the time, especially in 2000, the first round when Joe Biden was running. I think at one point he was anticipating even moving to Georgia. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. You can move over here and here. You know how over the years, if you've been here long, you'll watch, like, Oprah had a show once, or the Jerry Povich show, Murray Povich show, or Jerry Springer show, that a girl would show up and say, I like that guy. I want him to be my baby's father. All right. Thank you so much, Roger. I want him to be my baby's father just by the look, right? That's your first attraction. Then they say something, then they do something. And then you, as a rational person, if at all you are, you start thinking, is that where I'm going to go? Is that the right person for me? With the person going the same direction of me? I mean, women who care for themselves will ask those questions. Should something happen to me that I'm not capable of doing or looking the way I look, will that person still stay with me? That should be, if you are getting married, that should be your question, your answer. I'm on two legs. I got beautiful leg right now. What if those legs are cut up? Will my husband still love me with prosthetic? Will he still carry me? Will he stay around? Will my wife do the same? Will she push my wheelchair? Those to be things that we think about. I'm coming somewhere with this. So I hear Dualu idea. A lot of other Liberian people came before Dwalo. And it's a great idea. But based on decision process, would I invest in that? No. I'm sorry. No disrespect to him. I wouldn't. I'm very particular about friendship. I'm here, I'm an advocate. I don't make friends easily, those who know me. When I do, I am a diehard. I may not come publicly to say things to you, but if I have something to say, if I see you're not doing something right, you will hear from me. You will hear from me. That's the kind of person that I am. But let me go on leadership by accountability. You know, I saw a post from this young man, Martin. He fierce right now. First, let me play this. I want to play this video. This is from Bwaka. And I will say in my doctor, in my Mandela voice, any man who changes his values based on the company he keeps, he's not worth to be a leader. That's how I see it. That me, oh, that me speaking. That me. Any human being who, okay, changes his value based on the company he keeps, no. Listen.
Someone who knows this country. We're not talking about bringing a surprise package to Liberia. Somebody tested, somebody who is known. And why should we sit down and allow our country to just go into the hands of the wrong people? Simply because you come to Monrovia and people see you, do you know the people of country, what they think? Do you know what they need? Can you speak to them? We can sit here and let our country go down.
That was Pape Bwaka when he was splitting the CPP. No, somebody say you're hooked on that. No, I'm not. I'm not. As an educator in America, teaches history and science, we build on where we have been. Why do they ask your birth certificate? Why, if you are getting married, why people want to know your ancestry? Why even up interior, they will ask you who your mom is or where your grandpa is, what time you come from, heritage. Why they ask this question? So somebody will say you're bitter. No, I'm not bitter. I can't be bitter. I am blessed. I am one of the blessed ones. When no father, no mother came to this country, and God first, hard work, focus, being me, staying me, and grace have brought me this far. It's a life I never imagined. So, because of that, I will continue to speak. And I think God put me here because and continue to bless me because I continue to serve. I continue to serve. Serve, give voice to otherwise those who will not be heard. I saw a post and I have the budget, by the way, and I have not gotten time to go through the budget. So, but I will eventually. I saw a post from this young man. And I'm sure all of you saw it. Okay. Just the first year, okay, when the masses were hungry, we fed them. I am reading Matthew. It is from the Jesus standpoint when they gather the people to feed them. Okay. Salary alone, okay, for the speaker office, 245K. Okay. This is why they're fighting. They are not fighting for you. They are not fighting for a better Liberia. They're not fighting to build a road. They're not fighting for your children to be in a conducive learning environment. They're not fighting for when accident happen, they're first responders that are trained that will make sure they can stabilize your child, your loved one, to get them out to the hospital. They're not fighting to make sure that they're widening the road, that there are other exit route in case of to be able to move around smoothly. That's not why they're fighting. That's not what they're fighting. Okay. The president, well, okay, the pro tem, 254K. The deputy speaker, 209K. Several 7, 1,100 the whole year. Imagine that. And somebody come in my inbox and say, why are you always angry? Do you know how that 1,800 is supplemented? Have you thought about how that 1,400 is supplemented? You hear when they tell you that according to United Nations, okay, 3.6 million of your brothers and sisters cannot find food to eat. All right? 3.6 million, that's over 65% of the population. But you're okay because your uncle, that speaker, you enter that minister, your boyfriend, that deputy minister. So you make excuses. But the rest of the nation is in peril. And you don't see where it's headed. Oh, you do see it. But it does not bother you. And somebody can say you're angry. If you are not angry, I mean, you're not a human being. If you're not angry, it means you have no compassion. If you are not angry, it means you are unpatriotic. If you are not angry, then there's no God inside of you. You can wear the white clothes and go to church and scream the loudest, saying hallelujah, even catching spirit, talking in tongue. You are evil. You know, yesterday I read a post, and I'm trying to find that post, where a young man was challenged at a bar to drink shots. I think they said 20 shots each or 10. Whoever finishes first, I think they get some kind of like giving a prize. One of the young men started drinking the alcohol, whatever they call it, jumpy D, I don't know whatever it is, because those are raw alcohol. When he finished his 5th, he started yelling his stomach hurt. He left, went to his mother's house, lied down in a room, and said his stomach was hurting. Explained to his mother what has transpired. Nobody took him to the hospital. He died. I'm not a nurse, journalist here, but I can safely assume or surmise that it was alcohol poisoning. He died. Yesterday, I'm sorry, on the live. I'm sorry. Oh, Facebook will give me hello, Lord. The new status is just I can't deal with it. It's giving me a hard time. Okay, it's giving me a hard time. I have to compensate for words. I live in Georgia. Let me show you the salary of, I would say president, because the governor is like a president in Georgia. Each state have their own governance system and their own leader. Let me tell you where the governor's salary is in Georgia. Okay, with about 40 billion. Okay, about 40 billion in budget. Okay. Now governor. It's the lieutenant. Okay, let me see. Who the lieutenant governor is how much? Let me see. Governor of Georgia salary. Why do I have PA? I don't have pen. These are different state is different. You give me 1 second. Oh, I didn't put Georgia. Governor salaried in Georgia. Okay, our governor with what? $40 billion. It's 185,000. It was updated in Georgia. Our lawmakers in Georgia don't make $30,000 a year. They don't. Go look it up. You can find it. Go look it up. Go look it up. We're 10 million people. We're just 2 times the size of Liberia. 10 million people, 10 million in population. Out of that money, 37% goes to primary education, K1 through 12. You have to build the next generation of leadership. You have to build. And you build by impacting knowledge. That's how you do. You build by training the next leadership. Okay? That's how you build. So, accountability. Yesterday, we came on Facebook when people were killed, when people were unalive. Joshua will be the first to speak. Either you go to his church and declare the end of the story, and the IG and the judicial system will conclude as he stated. However, they paraphrase it. We're getting the same thing from Omebwaka. We watched the Capitol flood, the whole roof. The whole roof came out. The place turned to a swimming pool. Okay? The place, the Capitol building turned to a swimming pool. A few weeks later, fire was there. Another week later, what is it? There were burglary. Then there were protests. Then day after protests, there were another fire. In fact, when they were protesting, everybody beat up the people, took them from there, and they put in the security. And what's sad is a whole nation, the capital, in this day and age, in a nation that the president makes millions, American president with trillions of dollars budget don't make millions. We go to serve. And you have no, in fact, half of the time they have no lights, no surveillance. The whole Capitol building, no security. Now, then the president showed up and said people burned the building and they were hooligans. And somebody want me to believe that they're not witch hunting. And somebody want me to believe a man who does not have any inkling on fire behavior, when the RG told us that they don't have the expertise to do the investigation, but all of a sudden you come out, you have suspect. And I see you people threatening other people who do not agree with y'all. Let me say this to all of you. I wrote on my page today, some of you should know me by now. You know me. Before some of your heroes that got on Facebook, I've been here. I used to be in studio. What you call Focus on Liberia? That was my idea. I was the producer. Y'all go there and go find out. Go to the regional registration. Okay? I don't bite my tongue. I don't take sides. I speak my truth. Because the only person I'm answerable to is God. The next, my parents, my husband. That's it. And my conscience first. So yes, I said today, and people came and say, Yeke, we're crazy. We are all crazy. Liberia is a freaking crazy country. You can't look at it away the plank in all of our eyes and try to take it out of somebody. We all express ourselves differently. I see people come to me, you're emotional. I'm passionate. That's how I express myself. Call it any way you want to call it. Papa Bwaka said it was hooligan. Ain't nobody arresting him. Yaka said the government knows about it. And you're threatening to arrest him. Oh, for Nani Kofa, Papa Bwaka left a week before the inauguration of Mahama to go, I don't know, to talk to who, to change invitation or whatever it was. Next week he was there. Under the same breath, he said, we are poor, we are begging people. Where poor nation pays its president millions of dollars. Where poor nation pays its protein almost $500,000. Where poor nation pays its speaker almost $500,000. Where poor nation that you know that does that. Guys, this is a new age. This is the age of AI. Okay? Let me tell you something. I made a post the other day and people were under it. As the people were writing their input, if you look up on your Facebook and people are writing, AI is capturing all the information. And if you look at the top, it will summarize and give you a reflection and misconception. It will put it there. Go look. Say we can't think. The machine brain is thinking for us. I see some of you come on my post. Oh, you only got 10 people. Yes, I do. That 10 more than me. But you don't remember. At one point, in my service, and I all the following. I'm not going to use curse word. I'm not going to, how you call it? I'm going to continue to advocate what I know. My words will be words that even my grandchildren tomorrow they can listen to. The goal here is not for me to live off of Facebook. Yeah, I can make money. Yeah, my page is monetized, but I'm not going to go out of my character for the Benjamin. I just can't. I pay my dues. I went to school. I know how to work with my brain and my hands. So I keep it that way. And young people of Liberia, maybe you all do not know the journey travel. I lived through the 80s, through the 90s, the late 70s. Yeah. And you know, when I hear Liberian people say, "Oh, we want to go," in fact, the World to Win party, it came from America. It was the party that suppressed people in this country. So I don't know. We took the same thing to Liberia. I don't hear Liberians about fortune forward, taking what is good about one nation and repairing where we've made mistakes. Everybody want to go back to Morovia because Morovia was the only place, or Maryland, that the only place won't go. And give me 1 second. Sorry, folks. That's my children dog, and they're not here. Both girls are gone. All right. Yeah, I know tonight in Liberia that dancing night, that drinking night, that all of that, drinking away your frustration night and all of that. I'm not I'm not on that scene today. Okay. Now, accountability starts with the leader. When you sit there and say, "Oh, what happening? The papa don't know about it. Oh, what happening, Mr. Coming don't know about it. Oh, what happened? We are don't know about it. Oh, chatted they ain't know about it. Ellie they know about it." That's cheap excuse. You are making an excuse for them. They do. They do. They do. They do. Kotuma, I think that's her name. Okay. Uh, Mrs. Bwakai. Office is giving, we say what, allegedly fraudulent scholarship. We're making excuses and say she does not know about it, but she have not spoken to it. She said nothing about it. Her office is being used, and you will tell me she does not know. She does. You know how I know she does? Because it did with elaborate money. When millions of dollars was a fool and they could not get account of it, nothing happened. I know. I do because when my brother, Dr. Dolo, wrote a Bill Gates grant through Baka office because he was the youth advisor. And the money was seized. My papa acted he didn't know. And he knew. He had people, he knew. But he acted he didn't know. My brother have to go to the perspective, publish it in the news, and told them if they don't release the money, he will call Gate to take this money back. Ellie had to get involved. So he knew. They know. You cannot leave the president that you elected and go after people that he's appointing. I'm sure in fact, majority of the people in the government, he knows them. He worked with them. There may be a few new people, and a few new people are related to him. So how then do you defend that? Yeah, Fanso. How do you defend that? How do you defend that? So I know. That's why I don't have the time to say, hi, Sister Sata, okay, to say that this person is not. The buck starts with the leadership, the leader. You know, and like people will come, oh, the people in Mr. Cummings' office. No, not Mr. Cummings. The people in we are office know that we are. Okay? The people in Bwaka office, they don't. No, it is Papi Bwaka. The buck starts with the leadership. You clearly state your vision for the nation. You hold people accountable, especially when they're not your money, that the people's money, that the nation money. How do you watch your children languish in abject poverty? Every time you turn around, somebody is on Facebook Live going for a child who does not have money or don't have school fees. Every time you turn around, Liberian children are standing in line just to eat. You know, it lowers your child's self-esteem. Children need to eat so their body can be nurtured, so their brain can grow. If eating just to find food, your 8 hours out of the day that you're using just to find food, when do you have time to think, to be creative, to be innovative? When do anybody have time to be creative or innovative or to think without worry about what we eat? You know, when our kids go into school, they go to bed early so they can get enough rest and be able to focus when they go to class. When 3.6 million of the population cannot find food to eat, how do they sleep well? How do they find conducive place to sleep? Yes, no kingdom lasts forever. Everything rise and fall. Everything has at an end. Even me, one day my voice will be quiet. I'm grateful for the opportunity, and I pray that the Lord extend me enough time that I live to see the Liberia that I've worked for since I was 13 years old. That's all I want. That Liberian children do not stay in line for food. During Christmas, all of us were in our separate places, unless we were going to visit to our parents, taking the children to their grandparents. None of us children in America were standing in line for food. That's the fact. And even if we didn't have food, the food pantry that we could go to, pick up food, bring it home, and cook it for our children to eat. I said, Rebecca, I'll call you year after. That's how it was. So the buck starts with the leader. If people are building, I mean, I was saying yesterday on my show, I talk about John McAfee. I talk about Paul Kangabi. I talk about Lee Kuan Yew. I talk about Deng Xiaoping. I talked about what his name? Mr. Park. Okay. The South Korea leader who started South Korea on how you call it. And I talk about the Marshall Plan, the McCarthy Plan in Japan, and the Marshall Plan in Europe. Somebody came to come decide what it would tell me. That class that I teach. And I'm not perfect. I may have put stuff in reverse, but it's something that I know that I teach off head. Amen, Fanso. Me, Alonzo. Okay? Yeah, we are. The nation is being looted. Then they say, oh, the people that they hired, they're not the people. The papa know. He and his son, they're in the know. His son is in the know. They're getting a cut. The last time we heard the nephew that were working with Brandy Samuka that time who were writing the check. Oh, that's my own brother. Jackson. My name, oh, but I got to talk it. Allegedly, a bank account here was frozen. And folks, sanction is coming. I have 10 minutes here, and I will talk to y'all. Liberian people stop pointing in the wrong direction. You voted for your president, your vice president. You didn't vote for the chief of police. And that's what Liberia needs to go to. In other countries, we vote our municipals. Liberia is too small to have a president that have 5,000 positions to fill. United States got 330 plus million people. The president have less than 5,000 positions to fill. I think it's 4,000 plus. With 330 plus million people, Liberia got 5 million people. Why would a president of a small nation like that? The president should only be able to appoint his cabinets. The municipals, that would be the local government, need to be elected by the local people. Okay? The chiefs, that what they used to do. The superintendents, the police chief, the fire marshal, all of them need to be elected by the people. And Lenzo, there's nothing to be disappointed. I'm not disappointed. I knew the paper. We tried to tell you. Y'all have people on the ballot, sweetheart. Y'all had, it didn't have to be George Weah. But it didn't have to be Bwaka either. And kicking Bwaka and George Weah out to get Bwaka was in reverse. It was totally, there's certain words I want to use, but I can't use it on social media. It didn't make sense. You have Simeon Taylor. I think that's his name. You have Tawan Gonklo, who have advocated for you over and over, what big team and almost on and like by Taylor Group, and not yet in the hospital in the US, who have never started speaking for you. You didn't see him. You had a young man in Moba. You didn't see him. You didn't even see yourself in him. You have Simeon Taylor, a businessman, who y'all use all of his business, who understand how to build business. You didn't see him. You have Alexander Cummings, a world-renowned business, accomplished man, who said to you, here is my plan. Here how we're going to raise Liberia from the rubble is in. This is what we'll sell Liberia. Give it to me. I don't need you to pay me. I will work for you free. We will reduce the government. We will put power in your hand. Not only did he write it, he spoke on it. You said you didn't want it. Even in the casket, we will vote for you. Hey, Liberia, man. Hey, yo, my people. I walked the streets of Banga in 2017, and I heard the song. You know, but you not know, but we will vote for you. You know, but and your country dirty flag don't live like that. I heard that. They were in truck from place to place. Then Mama Naka, Mama destroy, Mama will rebuild it. You came, Papa, you came, Mama, we will vote for you. KK. I'm not disappointed. You know, the other day I was on a show and it asked me to grade Pape Bwaka and George Weah. I know George Weah. I had no expectation with George Weah when you're elected George Weah, and I told you off the back. George Weah had no leadership experience. He didn't. He had a talent to play. He found himself in the play that he will push discipline, and he worked his butt out even after he squandered everything he worked for. And we're living a brownstone. Every time he went to Liberia, he had somebody in the back, like they're buying the house from him. After he go and get some money, take people who wanted to run and a ticket, he come back, they part the whole get a house over to him, we buy his whole house. I had no expectation. We all knew he didn't know. But you brought us a man, 40 years in government, nothing to prove to point to. I live unto today. Who is weak? That's the fact. When you get to 80, you are weak. I don't care how many times you go to the hospital, they massage you, they give you plasma, they give you steroid, they give you this. We are all working the time. Me, I always told you, when you pass 50 years old, you're on borrowed time. So majority of us are working dead. They're not wishing anything. Those are just the fact of life. The Bible says, once a man, twice a child, dust will come and dust will return. That's just the way it is. But no, you look at those people, you didn't take. I heard Papa Boaka calling Liberians names, strangers, and you were good with it. Y'all do. And you need to get together and publicly to let them know that. You need to take time and publicly let them know that. You need to. You need to. You hear? My thing is, you cannot take a child or a man who had not passed algebra 1 and put them in algebra 2. And then because you put them in algebra 2, they're going to perform. Hey, Emmanuel, you are deceiving yourself. You're not deceiving anybody. So I'm saying this to say the problem in Liberia is with the leadership. I remember when my Ellen first took over. First time she traveled, she brought back the padam that were left over that she used. The rest of her group that went with her, who traveled with her, did the same thing. She did that two or three times. When she came now, she was not turning the money in. The other people didn't turn it in. It is not the vision of the followers that you voted upon or you voted for. You voted for a leader to lead your nation. So everything that is happening in Liberia, it is the fault of the leader. If the leader does not have the willpower, okay, to change the nation, we can blame other people. They know. They're the children, they know. Ask Papa Boaka, has he missed a paycheck? Do you know if he has? No. He has not. Did we have missed a paycheck? No. Did the lawmaker miss a paycheck? I don't believe so. You know, I'm going to read this, which I didn't want to, but I will. Okay, I will. Give me 1 second. I put this here, send it to Children Radio. And it says, the change we did not expect. The grand conspiracy is to keep you in poverty, turn you into beggars, and dish out peanuts during election. Nothing will change in Liberia if this does not change. Fellow Liberian, pay attention. The appropriation for this just constituency visit alone jumped from 330,000 to 2 million in less than 11 months. The people in your legislature. Hmm? It came from 330,000 to 2 million. That your lawmakers. Hmm? The preparation for just legislative committee hearing in the House meeting alone jumped from 3.6 million to 13 million. You brought them to steal from you. You knew they were looting from you. You knew that instead of changing them, you brought them back. Some of us told you, you take the old rogue where you kick out. You came back and brought them in and get them your bank account. You get them your children's future. And you think they're going to be merciful? Okay. In less than 11 months, they came from 3 million to 13 million for legislative, committee. Why do you think they want to be on committee? Legislature swallowed 53 million point two in less than 11 months. You hear it? Who fault do you think that is? It's your fault. And you would say you love them. You love who? How do you love somebody when you don't even love yourself? You're dying. Your children are in the street. Your fellow countrymen, 3.6 million of them can't find food to eat. You know, I hear people say, oh, I'm going to use my platform and do this. Please, by all means, use your platform to do that. I'm using my platform to throw lights on the disparity in the country. I'm using my platform to speak truth to power, not worship anyone. I don't want to fit in. I'm using my platform to educate, to enlighten, to wake people up. I am using my platform to be a voice for a child next door. I'm using my platform to be a voice to the women that were just abused, that cannot get justice. I'm using my platform to ask for justice and accountability, not just using it and using my time and using my money and using my precious time away from my children to go to places like UN, to Washington, okay, to be heard. Because people use their time, even give up their life for me to get this opportunity to be in this country where human black people were once considered 1/3 of human. We're not even considered U.S. citizen. Today I have a blue book. That's why I'm using my voice. You know, when we talk in the terms of Uncle Tom Cabin, a white woman used her talent to write, to humanize black people in this country, for a white president to see the human in them, the abolitionists, white people who were powerful enough to add their voices to make possible somebody like me to be in the United States, my color, to make it possible for you Liberians who left a Kenyan refugee or however you got here to be able to give back $800 million every year. You think if those people have said, okay, somebody like Harriet has said, you know what? I'm white, I got the privilege, I don't have to pay attention. They will continue to be slaves on our farm. They will continue to babysit our children and breastfeed our children. And we turn them, we breed them more, and they will work for us. Where will you be? Where will you be? So yes, we have different belief system. We stand for something else. Our conscience speaks to us differently. Our callings are different. Every man has his own vocation. That's mine. when Ruby Bridges, a 6-year-old, stood up and the black people say, you're going to have us killed. Today, not only a black woman, but a black woman with accent, a black woman from Africa, stand in a classroom, desegregated, and teach diverse group of children. It's because somebody used their voice for equity, because somebody used their voice for inclusion, because somebody used their voice for accountability, because somebody used their voice, or whatever talent that they had. I have never tried to fit in because I don't fit anywhere. I never tried to kiss up because that's not the way I was made. But you'll sit there and go, oh, I would do this. You know, you say you're crazy. But the crazy man have been the only one speaking the truth in the whole damn country. That's the crazy man. The crazy man is the one who have refused to be on committee because he didn't want to steal from the people. The crazy man was the one that was stuck up when the people, Kaifali then locked Mr. Cummings in Maryland, was stooning. He stood with him, the crazy man. The crazy man was the one when George Weah then, what how you call it, he stood up to them, was the crazy man. The same crazy man was the one why when you were jamming, your call to lead your campaign from county to county. That's the same crazy man. Oh, when you need him to bring you water to drink, when you're thirsty, he's not crazy. When you are jammed somewhere and you're studying and you need his voice, he's not crazy. We can move the goalposts only when we need it. Yes, we are all crazy. I am crazy because what I saw as a child and continue to endure, the whole country is crazy. You know how you know? When human beings, mothers, fathers, siblings watch somebody that looked at them stoned to the point until their own life, taking bricks, some people over their head. When the whole world is watching, and you won't call one person out that they're crazy? You don't think your country crazy? You don't think the man who have to beg a friend that he knew yesterday, hungry, that could barely afford one bedroom, that you gave him power, that he all of a sudden a millionaire, you have to go stay in line to beg them? Don't you think you're crazy? We are all super crazy and need psychological help, the whole damn country. I say so. So like I say, I believe you can. But I tell you, Liberian people, you be careful. When people were crying in Liberia, people were shielding Doe and lying to him. They were lying to Doe and said they had it covered. You know, when General Jabate then went to Bound and did whatever they did and came back to Doe and say it was the rebel. Jabate was my auntie husband. When Grandpa they were on alive, he came and lied. Instead of coming and say, oh, that the people who got there before me, they lie on other people. While the president sat at the mansion, they were in the street, going from house to house, grabbing Liberian, putting them in the pickup truck and carrying them and on enlivening them. I was there. We had to leave our house in the middle of the night. My aunt used to work as an air traffic controller. Her husband was Guillaume. They went there, they grabbed him, threw him in the pickle, and carried him. And you'll say the president don't know about it. The president is in charge. He knows. All of y'all know. So the buck starts with the leader. Everything that is happening in the country, Papa Bouaka knows about it. He does. Just like we are knew about it. How Papa Bouaka came up and show up and say, oh, that hooligan, how you know that hooligan who put fire on the building? When his security is supposed to be there. You're not ashamed, like people, you're not ashamed. The whole freaking Capitol building. You ain't got no security. You ain't got regular human being security from old school. You ain't got surveillance, electronic device in the age of technology, in this day and age. Then you're looking for people. When the IG told us you don't have the expertise, how did Papa Bouaka derive that the hooligans who burned the place down? When the place just leak, that whole roof had gone. Just as they seen UP people burn the mansion, y'all know that only 2 step floor in that mansion that got burned, where they've been putting a lot of money. They not spend millions of dollars on it for almost 18 years. Y'all know that? A way to steal. According to the CIA, Liberia GDP is 8-point-some billion. You know what they say we got? What I remember, I seen the last I checked, they say we're 2 billion in our people, or 4 billion. What the other half? Where you going? Who get it? Who in the pocket? Just see how much money. How much money they're spending on themselves. $53.2 million in less than 11 months. Your legislature. Yes. And that's where I agree. I see one little crazy little boy sitting in Morovia in that dirty place. I said it. You hear me? In the trash where he tell word bring. Every time I post, he come under there and writing nonsense. Me, I read it for you this year. You can take it. And then when it comes, 2029 coming, I will still be living in my house. 2029, my little daughter will be out of college, the one I just about to go to college, okay? She's going to college in the fall. She's going to college in the fall. In 4 years, she will be out on her own making money and giving her mom some money. Where will you be? You will be still thinking. Where will your children be? Who you threatening? You're not threatening me. I'm sure Thelma Gonglo children fine. Thelma Gonglo daughter is here in Arizona. The children are fine. Alexander Cummings spent all of his life. He worked his butt out competitively in a very competitive world. We told y'all, you want we are, that's good. Master don't want we are. We didn't know what he was doing. The people were there. They take it, they gave uno half. If I was so coffee, I would clap all day and scream for we are. I'll be knocking on the place there for we are. But that was not the place. You had 2 accomplished businessmen on the ticket. You didn't want them. You had Simeon Freeman. You didn't want him. You have Thelma Gonglo who have advocated for you from the day of I don't know when. To Taylor dying, beat up, almost died. They have to take him out of the country. The people in the country have to take him out of the country. He was on the ballot. You didn't want him. You have somebody young as you are. Mauba. You didn't want him. You Alexander Cummings who came out and explained to you what you would do. When I hear people say, oh, Cummings didn't do enough. From state to state, from county to county, the Bouaka, what kind of Bouaka went to? Paying your children's school fee, sell off since 2014. In fact, before them, when Ellen came to power, they used his name to get grant, to get loan with forgiveness. The BWI board, to know that a man with such prestige or honorable use his name so they can get grants. You didn't want it? Your fine excuses, cheap excuses. My husband can say Liberians are like white chicken. The moment you say you're white, they're ready to jump in palm oil. But enjoy. But I have said enough for one evening. I'm going to go study. By the time you're ready, 2029, before then, you'll be calling me Dr. Peye. So, who business is that? I'm not doing it because I want job. I'm doing it for self-fulfillment. I put the last 6 years on hold, trying to educate some of you from town to town, village to village, from the border of Ivory Coast to the border of Guinea to Sierra Leone border. Me and Dr. Richardson and other people cover those. So, again, let me go back. Accountability starts with the leader. Those in charge are the ones who are making a decision, and they're okay with the looting of the nation. They're okay with the unaliving of the nation. They're okay with people disappearing from jailhouses. They're okay with girls being violated. They're okay with boys being violated. They're okay because they are looting the nation while you fight each other and unalive each other. That said, the next time you try to blame the people around the president or the people around the leader, look at the leader. Whether action or inaction, what does it say? That's them. That's them. Especially when the person works at your will and pleasure. You're here. My 1 hour gone. So let me go. I think I will go ahead and go log in, get my book, and get ready for school for tomorrow. Good night, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate y'all. Oh, because they don't want change, they want criminal. They're looking for their own term so they can steal. Yeah. Everyone is returning to base. The 2-year money finish. Everybody returning to base. If I were president in Liberia, none of them would be returning because I don't see the mark that they left. I don't see it. Sis Rebecca, thank you and good night. Okay. Good night, everyone. Let me go.